This, ladies and gentlemen, is my new car. This is a big project and I've been looking forward to getting my hands on one of these for quite a while. It is a Rover 45 facelifted with the CVT transmission. Now I need a car that's an automatic so that my mum can drive, but basically it's going to be a shared car between the pair of us, you know, me mainly driving it alongside the Focus, and so my mum can have access also. Now this car I've just paid a very low sum for, but it has a major fault of all Rovers. The main fault is the head gasket. The head gasket has actually started to go. It hasn't overheated at all, but we're getting the odd mayonnaise issues going around and water loss. But luckily it was caught in time. It is very grubby and very dirty in here, and the car has subsequently, for one reason or the other, sat for 2 years, hence all this moss sitting in the car. It's obviously got the old, oh yeah, Rover thing where the door handles just want to come straight out the door, so that's going to be looked at. It is also a cat seat, but this is the only damage. That clip has gone there. They always go on these cars, but overall it seems to be quite a decent car. There is no rot underneath as far as I can see, just surface. There is actually no corrosion. Obviously I'll have to take these sill covers off and have a really good look underneath, but as far as I can see, it's all very nice indeed. Very honest is the word. Now, I'm not breaking any bones about this. This is a project. This is going to take some time to get back on the road, but quite frankly the guy who's tried to sell it has kind of given up trying to sell it, and he's given it to me for a very low price indeed. As I mentioned, I'd like a Rover. As we say, we've got the full leather in here. We have got the usual saggy head lining, but it's not too bad at the moment. It's starting, and we've got, I don't know if you can actually see, I'll just get into the car. We've got essence of mould up here, but as far as I'm aware it's dry, but the mould might be because it's been sitting here for quite a while. There's no obvious signs of damage. We've got these can come off the door cards very easily, but in here we have the facelifted dashboard, which people kind of don't like because it's a bit more cheap and tacky, but it smells like a Rover in it. It smells like an older car. You've got the CVT transmission, which I believe is a VT1 gearbox, a ZF unit, which they used in the original Mini. I think it was in the Rover Metro originally, and then the 200, the 400 and the 25 and 45, otherwise known as a Steptronic, or in this car it's known as a Stepspeed. Steptronic being a BMW name. It's got an aftermarket radio somewhere in here, but yeah, it's all good, and it's still got its cat amazingly, because it has been sat here for quite a while. We've just had a look at a few issues. The first one, I don't know if anybody knows about Rovers, knows more about me. I'm going to learn a lot as I go along. The alarm, there's an alarm issue. Where is that alarm? It's down here. Now apparently there was an issue where this alarm was causing a battery drain. Does anybody know why that is happening? Yeah, does anybody know why this alarm sensor was causing a battery drain, or maybe if it was? So they've removed it, and they've removed the battery drain issue, but I would like an alarm that's actually working instead of just a hole there. But yeah, it seems quite nice down here. It just needs a real clean. It's absolutely disgusting in here. It has been sat, but the leather's good, no rips or tears. It is a kind of cheaper leather to it, but I'm really pleased with the rear. This car is going to need a good recommissioning process. The brakes on the test drive sounded quite frilly. They might clean up, but I think that's part of the issue. To get it past on an MOT, I suggest a few things are going to need looking at, but overall I can't find any holes in the usual areas. In fact, if I can get under, I'll show you. That's a bit of a rubbish tip here. Just see if you look underneath. Can you see? Now they can go a bit frilly here, but it actually looks really, it is solid. I've put my finger and had a right old good jab It's like that across the whole length. I know these are sill covers, we need to get these off. But overall, fairly honest, the headlights are terrible on these facelift ones. That is going to need a wet sand, but more than a wet sand. We've got some oil from the rocker cover, but the idea is that we are going to have a full head gasket rebuild, timing belt, water pump, a coolant flush, fuel filter, spark plugs. It's going to have the whole shebang from engine oil, you name it, because I think that this car is quite it's quite an honest car the way it's presented. It's only had 2 owners from new. The first owner had it, I think it was this is a Welsh registration if I'm not mistaken, Pembrokeshire. The first owner had it for about 10 years, and then the second owner had it for 6 years. It's been here ever since, with the water loss issue. There was only one warning light, and that was a transmission code, and when I looked it up it didn't give me any particular code, but I've deleted the code and it didn't come back up, so it might just be an electrical condensation issue in the bottom of the VT1 transmission, which is a CVT. It's no gears, well, infinite amount of gears, however way you want to look at it. The battery's rubbish, I've got to get a new one, and it's just the right size. It looks a bit on the small side, but maybe that's just me. I think you can fit a bigger battery than this, but this is I can't tell, but Lion batteries are just shit. It has got air conditioning on this model as well, and it looks pretty good. The air conditioning compressor is there, and the radiators here, and you've got the auto transmission. Oh no, that is the gearbox, I believe. No, this is the gearbox cooler, and there's your radiator, and then your condenser, the aircon condenser is at the front with the 2 fans. Yeah, so yeah, well, I say 2 fans. Are we missing something? That's not good. Might have to have a look at that. A missing fan. Someone's actually taken out the centre. Okay. Well, ideally that's not good, so we'll look at that. I don't really care about it, I just want it being a running car. So the brake fluid, fine, a bit dirty, but we'll probably change it at some point. The power steering, again, looks like slightly dirty ATF fluid, but we'll get around to sorting that. It's going to be a good recondition job. Needs a lot of pressure washing. It's going to need a thorough clean up. This has come off its bracket. I don't know why that is, but I'll fix it back on when I get a chance. But there's going to be an awful lot that's going to come out. It looks like it's been on the farm, to be honest with you. I don't think it's ever been cleaned in 20 years, so that's all really. You can come down here in this arch. Oh, it's got locking windows. I've got a key for it. Yeah, just need a really good look. If I just get the camera, turn it up, you can actually see it's just quite solid all the way down, really. Tyres, they look good at the back, they look good at the front. What age are these tyres? I'm trying to see what age they are now. Can't read a date code, I'll have to read that in a second. But, yeah, no, all good down here. And these are good as well. There's no suggestion that these are not good as tyres. These are 8 years old. To be fair, they're quite old. So the tyres are probably going to need changing soon. Let's look at the rear suspension. Very honest again, just surface. JXT. And obviously the facelift models had the number plate moved to the back, and it's sort of a more subtle finish really. But there's no leaks in the boot. The boot does not leak, which is really good. There's just no sign of anything leaking. I've covered my trousers in all sorts of detritus today. But yeah, we'll look to sort that out. See, the trick with Rovers when you open a door is you put your hand there and you put your thumb there, but even that, the clips have gone. That's why. Might look to see if I can get some second hand. If I can just punch this bit back in, there we go, it's just slotted back in and it will come straight out at the next given occasion. There we go, we'll sort that. Most people would have probably looked at this car and thought, nah, too much of a risk. But at the end of the day, for the price I've paid for this, which is very, very minimal, I can say it's a perfect project. It's quite honest. The thing I don't like about it, the badge. Why they put stickers for the badge? Ugh. But yeah, honestly, good project. And you'll be seeing a bit more of this car very soon. And we'll just make sure I've got the key. Where's the key? Let's make sure I've actually got the key on me. That would actually help. Yeah, I have the key. I have a spare key. I believe that these have the Pectron immobilizers, the Pectron system. So I'll look more into that. They are prone to issues, I believe. There you go. One sad looking 45. Lovely. I will leave you with some very poignant looks, poignant visuals of this lovely moss, which you don't get very often. I love that. Talk about eco-friendly. And we're going to leave you there. So I'm going to hopefully have recovery sorted out next week, but till then, I'll see you soon, guys. Ta-da. Folks, a bit of bonus footage. I mean, you can see how clean it actually is for a car that's been sat. In terms of corrosion, I mean, not in terms of actually how clean it is, because it's disgusting. But actually, it hasn't linked. I don't know what this aerial is about. It goes through there. I don't know what that's about. As I say, I only know so much about these old Rovers. Ooh. Okay, got a lot of aluminium corrosion on the spare. I wonder if that's any good, actually. Better than the one on that wheel, because this wheel is the only one I'm not happy about. Look at that. Giant scratches there, but that's the only one that hasn't been affected, these 16-inch wheels. And here we've got, oh, I've got a spare kit. Right, I don't know where that's come from. I'll find out where that's come from, and that. But it's just dry. Dry as a bone. I could see under that wheel easily. As I say, I'll peel back the carpets in the future, but just dry. That's a decent boot, that is. Right, guys, I'll leave you with that. See you soon. Now it's time to say goodbye.